Howdy, Dennis Bradford here. Let's think some about being, feeling, and doing better. How should we understand how there can be fallen gurus? What's a fallen guru? A fallen guru is a spiritual teacher who has behaved immorally. As you undoubtedly understand, there can be bullshit artists in any field. We humans are susceptible to bullshit. Rocks aren't. Trees aren't. Oceans aren't. Only human minds are. The problem is that there may be no phenomenal or intrinsic difference between a thought that is true and one that isn't. Since beliefs are just thoughts that we attach to because we think they're true, and since we make mistakes by sometimes attaching to false thoughts, there's a serious problem. Suppose you think that S, someone, is a qualified spiritual teacher, a guru. That's not necessarily true. What you believe to be true may in fact be false. So, your thinking that S is a guru may be false. If so, you made a mistake. We all make such mistakes. Let's assume, though, that what you think is true. Let's assume that S is a guru. Let's also assume that, for example, S takes unfair sexual advantage of a student. In other words, suppose S is a fallen guru. How should we understand that? On the one hand, we expect that genuine spiritual teachers will at least behave morally. On the other hand, even though S is a genuine spiritual teacher, S has behaved immorally. How can these situations arise? They do arise. Of course, the press loves them when they find out about them. One of the greatest spiritual teachers recently was David R. Hawkins, MD, PhD. I heartily recommend his books. I also enjoy listening to his talks and interviews on YouTube. His sense of humor comes out in them, and it doesn't come out in his books. In one such talk, he gives the answer. Here's how it happens. Turns out that he devised an algorithmic map of the levels of human consciousness from 1 to 1,000. Everything real radiates at least a small vibratory or energy field that can be detected or calibrated and plotted on that map. Genuine spiritual teachers, or gurus, have calibrations of 600 or higher. Incidentally, they are few and far between. In 10 million people, there may be only one with a personal calibration of 600 or higher. Although such events are unusual, they do happen. How? Here's the explanation. It starts with the fact that the higher your personal calibration, the more other people are attracted to you. If, for example, you're nothing but a selfish, fearful, hateful criminal with a low personal calibration, few people want to be around you. On the other hand, if you've worked hard on yourself to diminish your egocentricity, people will become more attracted to you. They'll want to be around you, in your aura. What's the key to understanding fallen gurus? By diminishing our egocentricity or selfishness, the love within us automatically becomes more radiant. We all have love at our cores. Usually, though, it's obscured by our egocentricity. Spiritual practices, such as meditation, diminish egocentricity. Any spiritual practitioner who uses any effective spiritual practice over time will become more attractive to others. It's not really that the person becomes more attractive. It's that the love within the person becomes more obvious to others. The love within shines more brightly without. Fallen gurus, though, mistakenly believe that they themselves have become more attractive. They give themselves credit for their increased attractiveness and so may reward themselves for it. They then may act immorally because they think that's a natural outcome of their training. It's not. If their training worked well, it's the love that is responsible for their greater attractiveness. They didn't create the love. All they did was to release it. So, the problem S creates by acting immorally comes from S's misunderstanding of his or her own development. That's the explanation. A takeaway. If, as you should, you yourself practice daily, watch out for spiritual pride. It's no better than other kinds of pride. It really does precede falls. I wish you well.